The Louvre is a universal museum with 8 curatorial departments: Egyptian antiquities, Near Eastern antiquities, Greek, Etruscan, and Roman antiquities, paintings, sculptures, decorative arts, prints and drawings, and Islamic art. Some 35,000 works of art are on display in an area of 800,000 square feet, spread over 3 wings of the former palace, including world-famous masterpieces such as the Winged Victory of Samothrace, Mona Lisa, and Venus de Milo. Parts of the palace, such as the Gallery of Apollo and the Napoleon III apartments, are works of art in their own right. Featuring sumptuous wall decorations and splendid ceiling paintings, the Gallery of Apollo is a large and iconic palatial hall in the Louvre. It was initially built for the display of art by King Henry IV in 16th century during his reign, but it was destroyed in a fire in 1661. The current setup of the gallery was constructed by Louis XIV after the fire in 1660s. It's home to the most precious royal collection of hardstone vessels and the French crown jewels. Artistically, culturally, and historically significant, the gallery is a stunning display of the extravagant lives of the French monarchy, luxurious spectacle of the French court, and artistic creativity of the era. Lying on the upper floor of a wing, known as the Petite Gallery in the Louvre, the gallery is a tourist destination as well as a cultural icon in its own right. As a part of the Louvre, the Gallery of Apollo is listed as a National Heritage Site as well as UNESCO World Heritage Site for its artistic, cultural, and historic significance. King Louis XIV famously identified himself with the sun god Apollo. This magnificent gallery was the first tangible representation of that image. To create this masterpiece of architectural decoration, he summoned France's greatest painters, gilders, and sculptors of the day, who later worked on the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles. There's the crown of Louis XV of France on the display. It was used at his coronation in 1722 and was embellished with diamonds and precious stones from the royal collection. Up to 19th century, it was the only crown surviving the tumultuous French Revolution, in which most French crowns were destroyed. Psyche Revived by Cupid's Kiss is a sculpture by Italian artist Antonio Canova. It is regarded as a masterpiece of neoclassical sculpture, showing the mythological lovers at a moment of great emotion, characteristic of the emerging movement of Romanticism. It represents the god Cupid in the height of love and tenderness, immediately after awakening the lifeless Psyche with a kiss. The story of Cupid and Psyche is taken from an ancient Roman novel in 2nd AD and was popular in art. Psyche is a Greek goddess known for her extraordinary beauty. She is commonly referred to the goddess of the soul. Cupid, the son of the love goddess Venus and the god of war Mars, is the god of desire, erotic love, attraction, and affection. The tale concerns the overcoming of obstacles to the love between Psyche and Cupid and their ultimate union in a sacred marriage. Psyche and Cupid had a daughter named Hedone, goddess of physical pleasure. It is also the root of the English word hedonism. Aphrodite is an ancient goddess of love and beauty. During the Roman period, she was known as Venus. She is said to have power to provoke desire. Aphrodite was widely worshipped in Western history and culture. Besides being a symbol of beauty and love, she was also honored as a goddess of seafaring, war, and fertility. Numerous Aphrodite statues of different types are exhibited in the Louvre. Aphrodite of the Capitoline depicts the famous image of the goddess after her bath. It features exuberant hairstyle and the modest gesture the goddess makes as she is surprised while performing her ablutions and uses her hands to cover her body. This Venus added the goddess of love's attributes, a mirror and an apple, references to her victory in the judgment of Paris, a story from Greek mythology in which Aphrodite influenced the Paris of Troy to marry Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world, and it led to the Trojan War. Female torso of the Aphrodite of Cnidos type was sculpted by the Athenian artist Praxiteles around 370 to 330 BC. It is said to be the first Greek statue of a female nude. The Venus de Milo is an ancient Greek sculpture which was created during the Hellenistic period, sometime between 150 and 125 BC. It is believed to be sculpted by the Greek sculptor Alexandrius of Antioch between 130 and 100 BC. The Venus de Milo is larger than life size, standing 6 feet 8 inches high. The statue is famously missing both arms, depicted half-clothed with a bare torso. The statue originally would have had 2 arms. Upon its discovery on the island of Milos of Greece in 1820, the Venus de Milo was considered to be a significant artistic finding, and has since become an international cultural icon. The statue was considered by many artists as an epitome of graceful female beauty. The winged victory of Samothrace is a statue representing the goddess of Nike, a symbol of victory, whose head and arms are missing, and its base a warship. This breathtaking and inspiring monument was found on the island of Samothrace, north of the Aegean Sea, in 1863. Dated 200 to 190 BCE, the winged victory of Samothrace is a masterpiece and a rare surviving work of the original Greek sculpture, rather than Roman copies from the Hellenistic era, a period when ancient Greece reached its peak in art and culture. Leaning on her right leg, the goddess advances against the wind on the sea, which are metaphors of struggles. One of the most celebrated sculptures in Western history, the symbolic force of the statue is immense. The goddess of victory is often used to symbolize destiny, grace, divine help, and a triumph over adversity. The Great Sphinx of Tanis is a granite sculpture of a sphinx, whose date may be as early as the 26th century BC. This is one of the largest sphinxes outside of Egypt. It was discovered in 1825 in the ruins of the temple of Amun-Ra in Tanis, Egypt's capital during the 21st dynasty. The Louvre's painting collection is one of the richest in the world, representing all periods of European art up to the revolutions of 1848. It contains more than 7,500 works. Nearly 2/3 are by French artists, and more than 1,200 are Northern European. The Louvre's collection of French paintings from the 15th to 19th century is unsurpassed in the world, and it also has many masterpieces by Italian Renaissance painters, including works by masters such as Raphael, Michelangelo, and Leonardo da Vinci, and works by Flemish and Dutch painters of the Baroque period. Liberty Leading the People is a painting by Eugene Delacroix, commemorating the July Revolution of 1830. It depicts a bare-breasted and a barefoot woman who represents the concept of liberty, leads a group of people forward over a barricade and the bodies of the fallen, holding the flag of the French Revolution. The painting has been a worldwide symbol of rebellion against tyranny, and a vivid illustration of people's right of revolution. Since 1988, the Louvre Pyramid in the middle of the main courtyard, known as Napoleon Courtyard, has marked the center of the Louvre. The Louvre Pyramid is a large glass and steel structure designed by the Chinese-American architect Yeo Ming-pei, who was the first foreign architect working on the Louvre. At its base, the pyramid measures 116 feet wide and 70 feet high. 95 tons of steel and 105 tons of aluminum support the structure. The Louvre Pyramid serves the primary entrance to the Louvre, located in its courtyard. It was built in honor of the Egyptian pharaoh Khufu, who was the second pharaoh of the 4th dynasty of Egypt, and a constant reminder of the Egyptian antiquity collections and their significance within the museum. When the Louvre Pyramid was first constructed in 1988, it wasn't accepted by the French public. Many criticized the pyramid to be inconsistent with the classic French Renaissance style and history of the Louvre. Today, the Louvre Pyramid is admired by visitors and Parisians alike, has been the most recognizable symbol of the Louvre, and it's standing to connect the past, present, and the future of the world's greatest works of art. In our world, for centuries, the Louvre, the world's largest art museum and one of the world's most awe-inspiring museums, is synonymous with masterpieces, representing the greatest and the most legendary works of art by mankind. Once a royal palace, the Louvre bears witness to 8 centuries of French history. From the time of its founding in 1793, the museum was intended to be universal. Its collections, among the finest in the world, span several thousand years, and an area stretching from America to the confines of Asia. Even if you wander aimlessly through its labyrinth of galleries, you will stumble on spectacular masterpieces from the east to the west, which demand your attention and leave their mark on your feelings and memory for a very long period of time.